Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne, relaunching yet again. Today I will be reading for all Libras, Sun, Moon, Rising, Ascendant, Venus, or anybody that wants to watch anything about Libras. I like to watch videos about my son sometimes, so all are welcome, all inclusive. And today happens to be September, holy mackerel, September 23rd, 2024. So it's legitimately the very first day of Libra season. Happy birthday, all Libras in September. And this reading will be through the rest of the week. So the 23rd through the 29th, and then all through October. Okay. And shout out to my son's girlfriend, Kit, whose birthday is today. A lot of birthdays. I too am a Libra, October Libra. So a lot of, whether you're a Libra or not, there's a lot of energy that has a lot to do with the characteristics of Libra. So we're going to cover that today, but I am going to stick to what I mentioned yesterday. I have a couple of things I'm going to do on a regular basis. A lot of my channel will probably evolve and be eclectic. I'm already changing a little bit of yesterday's, and I'll explain why as I laugh about it, because typical Aries moon, I'm just like, yeah, let's get this going, let's that. And I knew it, but I didn't. So what I want to do is a daily chakra check. I'm the chakra check chick. And it's about the energy, because the chakras that we have, these beautiful, spinning energetic centers that start from our root chakra all the way up to our crown chakra and above, are essential to have clear, removing blocks, removing energy that might not feel balanced in some way. So I like to focus on that for all of us. So I have a beautiful deck I've had for about a decade, and it's called Color Intuition, because color is absolutely vital in our lives. It definitely has energy like everything. And I know someone understands when I say, a certain color makes you feel great. It's usually because that particular chakra is really in alignment and balanced, and you're feeling powerful and empowered, and you just like the color, that can happen too. So yesterday I picked a random card, and I mentioned that the colors were more predominant of the heart chakra, which is green, right? It had some brown. I mentioned it could be partly the grounding energy. We've just come out of Virgo season yesterday. So we're still feeling that. A lot of Libra's birthdays today, they call it the cusp. You're a legitimate Libra, but you definitely have the energies from the previous sign when you're that close. And so you get a little bit of both, personality traits that way, which is great, right? The more the merrier. We all have quite a few, actually. We're very multi-layered. When you look at your natal chart that has all the 12 planets and different zodiac signs. So anyway, going back to this, because I do digress, forgive me. I'm only picking out, and I did pick out only the chakra colors, okay? And what I found fascinating is, I said there are 7 chakras, and I meant that. But this one actually adds an 8th, the omnipresent one soul with the universe. So I really like that a lot. And I mentioned how 8 yesterday, and I'll say it again, is in numerology one of the most powerful, abundant, and prosperous numbers. So yeah, very, very cool. I'm going to pick one today. I'm just going to put it down here. I'm not going to look. Believe it or not, my eyes are closed. I've got my gloves. I'm going to be changing colors. I've got a lot of different gloves. This is my brand, if you will, now that I'm only showing the board and my hands. So we'll put it down here, and I'll just pick one out, and I'm not looking, and I'm just going to just bring it up real quick and see what the focus point is on the specific chakra for today. And you have, the first chakra. Now, when they say first, it starts from the bottom up, and that is your root chakra. And this is the powerful red. Red always, they say it about red cars. They're going to be the first to be stopped. It is a power color. It represents absolute power, stability, presence, energy. And when you have that, you want it to be as strong and as stable and as safe as it can possibly be in your first chakra, representing the earth, your stability, your health, your well-being, anything that you can feel, touch, and smell, taste, all the senses, you know, the Taurus energy, which is also ruled by Venus, like Libra is. So you share that in common. By the way, I have to put this in here too. I noticed, I was watching the video back just to see if it was coming through and, you know, just to see how it worked out, to be honest. And I saw my beautiful eclipse cat, who is a Taurus. We're estimating around May 10th or 11th because I got him when he was 5 weeks old in June. But I saw him hopping around and having the best time. So you may see that again because, like I said, he is my spiritual advisor now. He is fully welcome in the room, and I think he adds to our readings. Anyway, he's a Taurus. It represents to me the grounding energy that's so important and vital, all the while staying as present as possible with your first chakra. I will read to you what it says on the card as well. The presence of spirit is solidly rooted in my body. Let me say that again. The presence of spirit is solidly rooted in my body. I have the right to be here, and my life is abundant with love, comfort, and vitality. What a beautiful, what do they say when you have a saying, it's escaping me, that seems to be happening a lot these days, but a mantra. It's your mantra. So I'll let you look at it. You can take a snapshot, but that's a beautiful little mantra and meditation for your root chakra. And I like to do a meditation every day on all of my chakras, that they're open and clear and receptive and balanced. So that's the beautiful chakra check for today. And then we're going to go into, as I mentioned as well, I'm going to do a crystal of the day because I'm never without them. And yesterday was amethyst, my favorite. And I always, like I said, I carry them in my pocket. I don't normally carry this particular one, but I have for certain reasons. And I'll explain to you the meaning behind this beautiful tiger's eye. First of all, it looks very fall-like, and it's so pretty. And a lot of times, depending on, you know, the markings, this is a circular one. It looks like a tiger's eye, you know, and it's the color of a lot of tigers. And so it has amazing energy and properties to it. I'll read to you what it says. Combines energy of earth and sun, creating high vibration. It enhances psychic ability in earthly people. And I would imagine that means earth signs, but anybody that chooses to, you know, surround themselves and be a part of nature whenever and as often as possible. I'm doing it as much as I possibly can. Gardens, of course, are part of that. I live not too far from an amazing park. I haven't been able to get there as much. But, you know, hugging the tree, all of these beneficial things while carrying a tiger's eye in your pocket would be really potent. It balances lower chakras. We just spoke about the base chakra, you know, the root chakra. So I love that, you know, synchronicity. Highly protective grounding stone can heal issues with self-worth, self-criticism, and blocked creativity. I'll read that again. Can heal issues with self-worth. Self-worth? That's not easy. Wow. Self-worth, self-criticism, and blocked creativity. And last but not least, balances yin-yang energies, the male and masculine. That was brought up yesterday. Interestingly enough, and I'm glad I brought this out today, you know, Libra is the scales. Libra does always, our main claim to fame is working towards that balance. It doesn't mean we are always balanced, but I know when I'm off, oh, do I ever? I know it immediately. And I'm at this point in my life where I pretty much know what it is about. So I work on establishing that balance, certainly before I go into work and work as a massage therapist with my clients. I do Reiki energy. All of that has to be in alignment for me to be the best that I can do at my practice. So I love that. Tiger's eye, okay? Now, just so you know, I'm not sponsoring anybody as of yet. I plan on it in the future. I'm just mentioning like the tip of the day and these crystals, because I find them to be extremely beneficial in so many ways. Also, a little tip I didn't say to you, which is the tip of the day. And they're always going to be about health or well-being and that sort of thing as far as tips. If you need to recharge your crystals, and most of the time it's good to do that, it's the best thing to do with a full moon, I would say, new moons as well. And certainly I would even imagine eclipses. And the next one is going to be in Libra on the 2nd of October. So it's right around the corner. We just had the last one in Pisces, which will start our new series of eclipses next year for 18 months in the Pisces Virgo cycle. But to recharge them, you can put them in a bowl or a dish with water, and then that moon or water just really, really revs them up, and you can literally feel it. I keep them in my pocket, I've mentioned a few times. You can put them in your pillowcase, sleep on them, wherever you feel is most appropriate for you. So now it looks as though we're going on to our reading, and I am using a new deck today, and it's a beautiful deck. I haven't pulled this out for a while. I always go with my intuition. I am an intuitive psychic reader from over two decades now, and I absolutely love and appreciate the ability to read and share information. I do get downloads. I do get my team of spiritual advisors helping me, in addition to what the cards may say or demonstrate. But this particular deck, it has an interesting feel to it. And it really appealed to me today because even though it's a gorgeous day out, I mean, it's upwards of 90s in certain areas where I'm living, there's still this feeling of that impending change of light to dark, getting darker earlier, and just the feeling that comes. And it's so much about feeling in our lives, isn't it? When there's a change of a season. Fall being one of my favorites. I do miss the light, I'm not going to lie, but I also recognize in the last even 2 or 3 years that from the time that we have what they call, daylight saving time, which they say they're going to get rid of, but it's usually the first week of November, and it gets dark like about 5 o'clock. Well, the first day of winter on December 21st, from that moment on, every day starts to get lighter and lighter, so that it seems like it doesn't take as long to get back to spring again. And I'm not trying to rush it, trust me, not at this point in my life. Not for one moment. It's all about cherishing the moments. And this deck, as I'm wanting to say to you, is called the Pagan Netherworlds. Yeah, I believe that's how it's pronounced, and it's in a different kind of font, so I'm seeing it as worlds, and I want to say netherworlds. So, and it kind of fits the pictures, but they're absolutely gorgeous. I think you'll really like this deck. So, for all the beautiful Libras, happy birthday, happy solar return. Life is precious. We're all precious, and I want you to revel in it. There's going to be a lot of energy of relationships because that's really one of the predominant aspects that Libras provide. There's the fairness, the just, there might be court cases coming to a conclusion that would be in your favor a lot of times. I actually had something like that happen. The last time there was a solar eclipse was between, in Libra and Aries series, I believe, don't quote me, but certainly one of the, because it happens every 18 years or so. It was between 2004 and 2006, and yes, I remember it well, and I did have a lawsuit against me. I had a day spa, and one of the employees came out of nowhere and had shocked me. And anyway, long story short, it ended in my favor because it wasn't justified. Sometimes there are people in life that pursue the avenue of suing just for the sake of suing. So this one just popped. So obviously this is going to be your center card, the most, the energy that kind of predominates the reading in a lot of ways, I should say. And the other thing I'm going to do today, which is very funny to me, I would like to at least attempt it. I'm doing the Celtic Cross, is I'm going to be making it so that I will show you each card and then have it be in your direction, because I'm still not technically savvy, but I intend on being so. Okay, so interesting. You have the 5 of Swords. So there you are. There's your energy. Now, the 5 of Swords represents thoughts. It represents the air sign of Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. And sometimes it could be conversations that stir a little bit of agitation, as long as you allow it to happen in that way. And I mean that sincerely. Like, there's many times that I know I can feel when people are upset. You know, you feel their energy, obviously, and you're just like, you know, it's not you. I'm very, very sensitive to that, but I also know that the last thing I want to do, and I think a lot of Libras can agree with this, is start an argument. I'm not really comfortable with confrontation. I never have been. I do like to stand up for myself, but I don't feel like I have to yell or be disrespectful in the process. So that's usually my approach. I don't know that this is even going to be you in any way. I feel like you might be around agitation. It doesn't have to be an argument, or it can be just things that don't feel particularly comfortable. I have a perfect example. As of today, and today's my day off, my normal job is a massage therapist. Where I work, the roof is being replaced. It's going to be for about 7 to 10 days. So there's going to be agitation. It's going to be noisy. It's going to be uncomfortable in some respects. And it's out of my hands. I have let all my clients know, and they had an option to not show up. That's an example I'm giving. So just know, as you see the clouds in the background, like all the air, you know, it's sometimes hot air that people want to, you know, bring off. Some people are more hostile, depending on what their placements are. Take those deep breaths, please, to help you clear your mind and to keep you at ease. It is our birthday season after all. We do have Venus that just went into Scorpio today, and it had been in Libra for, you know, what, I don't know, 3.5 weeks or so. And so Scorpio is intense, but it's also passionate, you know. We're just wanting to delve into things for the purpose of resolving them and to clear them, okay? So there'll be passion in a lot of beautiful ways, and there might be people that are passionate and they speak a little louder than normal, or noises are a little louder. You're just a little more sensitive. So that kind of makes sense for the basic overall energy thus far, okay? But there's so much more to this reading, so let's continue on. Crossing that is going to be what I call your blessings or blocks. And for some reason, I'm going to pick this up because it didn't come up. And so what do we have here for the blessings or blocks? The Queen of Wands. Woo! Okay, you know what's interesting? Yesterday's general reading, we had the 10 of Swords as the overall energy, which means the end of a cycle, the end of the worst scenarios that you can imagine. You know, you're done, you are completed, and you start brand new, start afresh, start a new solar year. And it was crossed with the Knight of Wands. So another fire aspect. And what's interesting is the eclipses that have been for the last 18 months, and will end in the, March of 2025, have been North Node in Aries, fire sign, South Node in Libra, the releasing, the letting go, you know, for the highest good of everybody involved. And that's always going to be that way, because when it comes to the eclipses, what it really is, to simplify things, I don't want to get too complex. I'm just going to say that it is about the polar opposition of you. This is a very complimentary thing for a lot of people. I find many couples, when I've studied the couples' relationships for years and such, it's the oppositions that seem to really work for each other, because they fill in areas of their lives that the other doesn't, or you may not have. So you learn, and it's always great to learn. It's always great to come up with a even playing field. You know, the personality dualities are kind of attractive in a lot of ways. You know, it's more exciting. So coincidental as it is, I like that a lot. And let's face it, the Queen of Wands is the feminine aspect of the queen. It doesn't have to be a woman, of course, because we all have the feminine and masculine dualities within us. But it's this powerful, like, I'm going to go and I'm going to make this happen. And nothing's going to stop me. And I'm going to help as many people in the process because I like to do that. It makes me feel good. They want to feel good. They're very excited. They're very anxious, spirited. They're leaders. They're, innovators. Really beautiful stuff. Look at this beautiful picture, though. Isn't that gorgeous? The sunflower. You got the wand in the hand, your magic wand, I like to call it. You're fired up and you're ready, brand new beginnings. Make sure you write down your intentions for this new moon. I wouldn't suggest that you go gung-ho that day on anything particularly new. If you have something that you've just started or you're in the process of, keep it going, of course. But it's really reflection and writing out intentions and just watching them, build and grow, because eclipses can last for months, okay, the energies that they possess. So I love that a lot. Let's keep going. After that, we have the foundation card. What is your foundation been? What is your fundamental feeling and belief system, if you will? I mean, it can go on to all different levels of that, but the root chakra. What do we have for you? What's been your... Yeah, the Page of Pentacles. Okay, wonderful. So I love it. Pages represent the youthful. They are part of the court cards, and they are messengers. But they could be a child. They could be talk of wanting a child. There could be the fact that you're having a child. This is a very potent time when it's our new beginning. I mean, it could mean anything. If we get the Empress, it's really Empress. It will really indicate fertile times and possibilities of talks of that, whether you adopt or could be an animal, but a possibility of a new addition in the family. Also, it could also mean to just be sure, and I always like to bring this up because I've heard this and I fully believe in it too, being more in touch with your child, your inner child, that party that has that never-ending belief in reaching for the stars and having your dreams all come true. Why not? They will at some capacity, in some way. We're manifesting all the time. But I like this a lot. So, and it could be somebody you're interested in that's coming through, which is having to do with the earth. I mean, it's about your practical side. It's about money. It's about starting something that could definitely perk your interest in the way that you're going to be financially more stable. A second income, perhaps, a moonlighting. It doesn't have to be the full-on one. It could be like myself, incorporating YouTube, eventually only doing YouTube. And if you like what you're seeing and you're resonating at all, please do like and subscribe and share and comment, because that's going to help me a lot. It helps all of us here. We all try to help each other out that way, because that's what it's about. We pay it forward, right? In the smallest of ways. It's free. I will eventually, I guess, have a membership, but that's down the road. So it's an idea. It's a beginning. It's a little green around the edges, but you're pretty steadfast in that. And I like all these, similarities and synchronicities that had to do with that root chakra at the beginning of our readings. So moving on. From your, I would say, recent past, moving into now. What the heck? This is unusual, but I'm going to go for it. You have the Chariot. Okay, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Let's face it towards you. And you know what? The Chariot is, it's so perfect. It's so perfect. It's what's already been happening, because we had, I don't know, am I correct about this? I want to say it's already happened. I'm sure it has already happened. Mars went into Cancer. That is the 10th house for Libra placement from the 7th house. And I'll tell you what, that's about making it happen. It's not only conducive for the wands and your action and your thoughts that create things and then putting it into reality. You've got in your favor Cancer and Mars. Mars is all about our fiery warrior kind of, can be passionate to a fault. As I mentioned, the 5 of Swords, you want to watch and make sure that you don't slip up somehow. I know I certainly have in my life. I'm not perfect at all, and I say things and think after the fact, oh, okay, that was honest, but maybe I could have said it in a different way. Just taking that breath first. But going back to here, the Chariot, like you're the master of your vehicle, basically. Could have to do with the car. I actually lost my last car of 20 years during the retrograde. So it was the South Node in Libra. Again, letting go of something that, it's an attachment, I know. And I know about attachments, and I know how it's so much better to just let it go. I mean, that's the best, easiest way for everybody. But there's sentimentality involved, and then you let it go, and it's so much better. Everything worked out great. I actually broke down on a freeway. This could have to do with you wanting to get a new vehicle of some sort, and it also means that you are well aware of the ins and outs and ups and downs that create your mastery and the process getting to it, but nothing's stopping you. You've got that extra fire with your Cancer Mars in your 10th house. That's your popularity, your business. You're going to have more motivation. Let's just put it that way. And you've probably already been feeling it. It's going to last a long time because there's a retrograde in Cancer and then it goes back into it. It's going to be like 6+ months. So prepare for some new movement, to say the least. Okay? You may be moving as well, and I will add that because that is obviously part of movement. And there are a certain percentage in a general reading for Libras where that could be the case. But it's a good move, okay? It's for your highest good. And it wouldn't surprise me with eclipses anyway. There's a lot of changes that come in. Some you know and some you don't. Moving on to the near future, possible future, you have Justice. Woo! Gosh, I love Spirit so much. I can't believe it at times. It's always this way, though. Justice, that's you. That is you, Libra. That is you and your balanced self. You see the scales right there. Gorgeous, beautiful pictures. That fall kind of backdrop of color. And I don't know. I really feel the feel of fall in these particular card, this deck. It's just gorgeous. And Justice, like it's maybe a lot of you feel like it's a long time coming. Maybe you've been waiting. I know another huge aspect is Pluto in the near future, October, going into Aquarius after being in Capricorn for, many years, but specifically more and mostly since 2008. So think back the last 18+ years. It's been in your 4th house, Libra. Your dwelling, your family, your family life, it can also be work, because it doesn't always have to be home, but your work becomes home and you spend a lot of hours there. So it's just and it hasn't been an easy kind of a placement for Libras with the Capricorn. And when it goes and turns finally, last and final Capricorn in our lifetime on November 19th into Aquarius, I mean, that's going to be way better. That's in your 5th house. We'll go into more detail about that, but justice is being served, and you're going to see that. And I don't know in specific ways, but hallelujah, right? I mean, that's the first thing I can say. And especially because we have special blessings around our birthdays, and so we should. So do put out that birthday wish list, okay? Because it's pretty phenomenal how that works out. It's just, I've seen it a lot. And it's funny because a lot of times Libras will come in to get massages during their birthday time because you want to pamper yourself too, and you want to take care of yourself. I mentioned that my Umka tip of the day for the cold, and I still sound a little funky, but I feel great. It never got bad. Umka, umka, umka. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. So we're going into this is the possible future, but it's also really evident to me in Libra season that's already happening and started to happen for you and will continue to happen, okay, throughout your season. So through the 22nd of October. And now we have your immediate future. Wow. Okay, you have the Eight of Swords. We had this yesterday as a general. Doesn't surprise me, as much as I'd like to tell you that I don't still get caught up in my fears at times. I would be lying. And that's what this is. It is the element of air, once again, with the swords. It is overthinking. It's, it's just, as often and as long as I've worked at this, there are still times, if I haven't had enough sleep, if I haven't eaten yet, if I'm imbalanced, I'll be told about something and my immediate reaction is like, oh, well, the worst scenario, right? That's what this is. Please let that go. Please make a concentrated effort to say, oh, really? Okay. Thank you for letting me know, or however you may find out. Take a deep breath and say, well, I anticipate the best possible outcome, and see what happens. See how that changes things, all right? So that no matter what it is, it's not going to get you down. You're going to be able to get through anything. Think of all the challenges you've gotten through to this moment in your life, because I know you've had a lot. We all have, and we swear we don't know how we're going to get through them. And then here we are. So I'm going to move this over just a bit, and we'll get to the stem of the reading. And so far, so good. Okay, you're in your power. You're in your energy. I love that for you. So we've got the 8. Don't fret, Brett. Just remember, it's a thought. It is ever changing. It's so very temporary. Create your thoughts. Make those thoughts, So then the next one is going to be your attitude and your overall feeling about the reading and your life in general. And you've got the Devil. So that kind of equates to this 8, right? It's coming down here and it's like the what ifs in life, right? What if the roof people, make so much noise and that my clients say I can't do it and blah, blah, blah. Did I mention I bought earplugs for them? Anyway, it's all going to work out. And once it's done, and it's going to look good, and and I've given everybody the option to come and that sort of thing. So just be aware of your fears, maybe your vices, your addictions. We all have them in some form or another. I'm still working on lessening the sugar because I have an amazing sweet tooth. I try to eat fruit, and I have honey, but I love chocolate. I love the dark, and I also love, something after a meal. I grew up that way, so I have that dessert. But it could be grapes, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be the worst thing for you, and you don't have to eliminate things completely, and it might not even be you. I do have to put that out there. You might be surrounded by somebody like that, so keep yourself away from toxicity as if at all possible. Bring those crystals to protect you, and you're good to go, okay? And I feel like you know this anyway, but you will also majorly protected with Venus, even in Scorpio. That's your second house. That's money. That's desire. That's what's going in your mouth. Now we have the environment, and you have the 8 of Cups. There's some sentimentality. There's definitely emotion here, and that is absolutely the Scorpio influence. Because, Scorpio is a water sign. Scorpio is about digging deep, being really real and authentic. If nothing else, I want to make the key message be authenticity. Be who you are. Love yourself for everything, your cells, every aspect of you, deeply and profoundly, okay? You can care a great more for other people when you care for yourself, I promise you. Didn't really make sense for a long time. Let's do what I said I was going to do. Turn it your direction. I'll get used to this. And yeah, 8 of Cups. So guess what? The next one is the 9, wishes fulfilled. And the 10, which is the ultimate. That's where you're going. You're moving away from things that are absolutely not beneficial for you, don't make you feel complete. And there's a gamut of things that could be, what it is. It's in your environment, though. Something in your environment has made you realize, not working anymore. Be strong and know that you've got what it takes. You've got that beautiful energy going with you. You got the justice. Sometimes things end up far better than we can even imagine. The next we have is your hopes and fears, and you have the Ace of Swords, my dears. Ace of Swords, the clarity, the beginning. The only fear is in fear itself, all right? Not feeling like you can speak up. You always can speak up. Please never be afraid to be heard. Is everybody going to agree with you on all occasions? No. Do you believe in you? It's super important that you do, and amazingly, when you do, other people do as well. But this is a new idea. This is new foresight. This is truth, justice, it's fairness. It's new beginnings, you know? I mean, there's a lot of that coming through in a lot of the readings. So we'll come to the final outcome now. And, oh, I feel good about this. Oh my gosh. We got this yesterday too for the general. The ultimate, the Four of Wands. You know, there's so many ways to express this, but I'll do it the way I simplify it in a lot of ways. It is known as the marriage card. It doesn't have to be, but it's the 1111, 1111, universe watching, protecting, bringing you the ultimate in happiness, new ideas, fresh starts. There's the castle in the background, and there's your portal to walk through. You're going to generate, or you're going to grow, and you're going to trust in your instincts and just say, that's where I'm going. I've already been here. I've been there. I've been a lot of places, and this is where I'm heading. And yeah, it's romantic. It can be very romantic. Don't surprise. I mean, overall, the reading has definite, cups for emotion. Not a lot, just the two. Actually, just the one. But that's because you're moving away from things you know aren't good for you emotionally, and you're going to go for the right person, the right circumstance, the fulfillment, the creative project, right? So many Libras are so incredibly creative anyway. And it feels like it's your time, and it feels like you know that, and it feels like this eclipse is just going to push you in ways you haven't been. And it's all for good, okay? So what a wonderful reading. What a particular, I would say, just valid reading, right? For Libra season. And a solar return reading at that. So let me finish though. I thought I had it yesterday, but I brought it out today with an oracle message in closing. And this is the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. And it's about the heart because, we have a lot of love. As Libras, we love. Oh my gosh, beauty, love, sensuality, taste, good food, good, looking good, feeling good. Beauty in general. That's the Venus. It's not our fault. That's our ruling planet, man. We love it. And people love you for that. A lot of, I find Libras are involved in, careers that really bring that to the forefront. Musicians, writers, everything you could think of. Actors, actresses, you name it, in the creative sense. That's a lot of Libras. So I know I'm speaking to somebody out there like that. And best of luck to you in this year as well. May it go to places it hasn't and reach the heights that you've never even imagined, but do imagine. Especially with your eclipse in your sign, Libra. So for the last card message for today, we have sadness and isolation. I didn't expect that, but it's important to read it anyway. Okay, because this is for somebody out there that may be feeling less than we had described in this reading, although it can very well change on a dime. There are always going to be things happening and losses that'll happen. Eclipses bring that, and so I want to read to you what that says specifically, if I may, to give you some inspiration and upliftment, because that's really what I love doing this channel for, is just to make you feel good whenever possible. I don't think we can ever get enough of that, and I want to be that person to inspire you and support you and let you know I'm here. Anytime you want to talk or whatever, just let me know. I do personal readings. The best thing to do right now, until I get a little more situated, I do have readings available, and I do see people in person at my studio. And my website is below, puremassagetherapy.com. So if you happen to be in Castro Valley area, come on down or set yourself up an appointment at puremassagetherapy.com. And I will definitely be there for you. And then other than that, I will do videos from what I understand. But for now, sadness and isolation under number 3. Let me double check something if I may. I remember now from before, excuse me. This is going to be from the, okay. There are several different aspects. This is under the spirit. No, it's not. Let me double check one more thing. Is this the chakra card again? Wow. No. All right. I'm trying to find exactly, because there's several different categories. There is, bear with me. You can hang in there if you'd like. I just feel like it's important to read this to you. Color interpretations. The thing that I opened up to is nurture. But it's not saying nurture, so that's the part that's concerning me. And so I'm going to keep going through here because it's separated into a few different categories. So let me please go here for you and see what I can do. Is there an actual... Let me see, sadness. It's under Major Arcana, Minor Arcana. It's really interesting. I'm not seeing it. I don't know what that's about. It's kind of crazy, but I'm somebody that never really actually gives up, so bear with me if you will. To me, it should be under, okay, I'm getting it now. All right, so it's got indigo. Here we go. Mental. Go figure. It's about the mental, which is the Libra, the mind, you know, the overthinking, the 8 of Swords. We already went through that. So interesting, right? Not a coincidence. Forgive me for taking so long. I'll have this together. So, 121. And what it says is, thank goodness I opened it up right there. Love can bring both joy and sorrow. Of course, it would have to do with love, right, Libra? When disappointment enters your life, it's important to acknowledge the accompanying sadness and feeling of loss. However, it's equally vital not to dwell on the loss. The temptation may be to isolate yourself from the world and cling to your grief. Well, I think we've all done that. I mean, there is a portion of that I think needs to be done to get through it. This card is a reminder to trust that this situation, as hard as it may be, and I never want to diminish that from anybody in any way, is that it's in your best interest. It's time to gently let go of the sorrow and disappointment. Sorrow can hold you back, or it can elevate you to new levels of understanding. Focusing on your sadness and loss will prevent you from attracting new positive energy around relationships. Of course it has to be relationships, right, Libra? So it's time to turn your disappointment into hope for the future. Ask what lessons you can learn from the situation and move beyond despair into healing and joyful love. Let go and move on. You have more powerful spiritual forces helping you than you could ever imagine. So really, I like that came up, because when it comes to the balancing, there's always going to be, you know, times that you're feeling incredibly elated and times you're feeling incredibly sad and isolated, right? And I've been there. I've been there not even that long ago, but I get through it, and so will you. And I love you for that. And I appreciate and I have full faith in you. So thank you so much. Once again, like, subscribe if you do like, and share, leave a comment. Until next time, have a beautiful day and an incredible Libra season, okay? Bye for now.